Today's episode is brought to you by Bush's Fresh Food Market. Calling all foodies, Bush's is hiring. Are you passionate about food, looking for growth, development, and excellent wages? Come grow with Bush's and apply online at bushes.com/join our team. That's Bush's, BUSCHS.com/join our team.
From the Detroit Free Press, I'm Emma Stein with today's Free Press Voice Briefing. It's February 8th, 2022. An Upper Peninsula man named Nick Baumgartner is the oldest athlete on the U.S. Olympic team. And, at 40 years old, he's the oldest U.S. Olympic snowboarder in history. A construction worker from a small town called Iron River, he sacrificed his income to make his dream happen. In order to get an extra training, he lived in his van all summer long and missed out on the busiest construction season of the year. But it was all worth it. Baumgartner will compete on Thursday in the snowboard cross event. He said he's stronger than he's ever been before. Governor Gretchen Whitmer is proposing an extra payday for frontline workers. Here's government reporter Dave Boucher with more.
Any number of Michiganders may be in line for a potentially sizable payday if the governor and lawmakers can agree on sending hundreds of millions of dollars to quote-unquote heroes who kept the state running during the COVID-19 pandemic. Governor Gretchen Whitmer is expected to propose sending $500 million to these heroes when she presents her formal budget plan to lawmakers on Wednesday. Her proposal is intentionally vague on who would qualify. Details on how much money people would get and who exactly would get that money need to be ironed out during the routine legislative process. The proposal is one chunk of a $3 billion pie Whitmer wants to go toward keeping or rewarding the state's workers. The bulk of that money, roughly $1.65 billion, will go toward teacher retention and training. There's also $50 million for police, firefighters, and frontline workers. Despite the catastrophic health and economic impacts of the pandemic, Michigan has billions of one-time dollars to spend thanks to federal COVID-19 relief funds and an unexpected state budget surplus. As Whitmer recently telegraphed during her recent State of the State address, she wants to give some of that money directly to workers and use more of it to jumpstart the economy. The proposals represent obvious political benefits for the governor as well. 9 months out from the general election, voters are dissatisfied with the direction of the country and President Joe Biden. There's considerable frustration with inflation as well, as prices for goods like gasoline and food continue to increase. GOP legislative leaders have used federal pandemic relief funding as a negotiating chip in the past, delaying sending out money intended to stave off evictions and help struggling families in an effort to achieve political goals. However, Republican leaders largely supported the governor's tax rebates and reductions when she proposed them during the State of the State address.
A Coast Guard chopper from Detroit stumbled on 18 people stuck on an ice floe over the weekend. They were all quickly rescued from their floating chunk of ice on Lake Erie, but the retrieval of their ATVs from the ice will likely cost taxpayers over $50,000. Officials are now warning everyone to stay off water that has iced over. It's often deceptively thin and is a safety hazard. And now, here's Assistant Sports Editor Andrew Hammond with the latest on all things sports.
The Michigan State Spartans hit the court at the Breslin Center for the first time since their shocking loss to Rutgers on Saturday. Things don't get any easier with the Wisconsin Badgers coming to East Lansing for a very important Big Ten showdown. The Spartans picked up the first win over Wisconsin in this two-game season series, but now Tom Izzo's crew will have to do it again. With a team that's boasting a potential Player of the Year candidate in Johnny Davis, Izzo understands that his Spartans will need to replicate the effort from January's win if they want a regular season sweep of the Badgers.
They've won 3, as far as Wisconsin, they've won 3 out of 4. They too haven't shot the ball as well for most Wisconsin teams. Little bit, Davidson killed us the first game, made a lot of shots, although some of them were late. Davis has been, last couple games haven't been quite, instead of 21, he's averaging 16 and a half or something, but he's not, I think part of that goes to wear and tear. Teams get to know you. They kind of defend you differently now, just like our guys have gone through. Going back to the game, we were all worried about Gabe's shot last week. And I said I wasn't. He shot it exceptionally well, which consequently made his defense a little better and his rebounding a lot better, which is going to happen. So, Johnny Davis is a big-time scorer. He did get 25 last game, but we made him work for all of them, so I was actually pleased with the defense. I think the key to beating them is to contain those two guys, but not let them get to the free throw line. That's where they've hurt teams over the past.
For more stories from the Detroit Free Press, be sure to check out freep.com. That's FREEP.com. I'll see you tomorrow.